Starfield is coming soon. We learned a lot about it at the Starfield Direct Event and I'm so hyped. Before the Starfield Direct Event, Xbox showed us lots of new games and we will talk about them in another video. But in this one, our focus is going to be completely on Starfield. Starfield is the first new universe from Bethesda in over 25 years. People are expecting a game like Skyrim. Most of them actually call the game Space Skyrim. I don't know if Starfield will be able to do everything they told us in the event successfully, but if it can, then yes, we will have a Space Skyrim that we can play for a decade. So let's get to the new details we saw at the event. The first important thing about the game is we can go anywhere we see. If there's a moon orbiting around the planet you're on, you can go there. Or if you see a planet, wonder what's on it, well, you can go and see for yourself. There will also be a star map where we can see all the information we need about the planets, such as their type, gravity, and the resources they have, and lets us choose a landing spot or fast travel to known locations. Also, as you can imagine, we can go to places light years away, and to do this, we need to use our ship's grav drive, which holds space and jumps to other systems, but we will need upgrades for our ship and the character to reach further places. Many people, including me, were wondering if we can manually land on a planet, but looks like that won't be an option. When we choose to land or leave a planet, a small cutscene starts and the game takes the control from us. Once we land on a planet, the first thing to do will be to explore. We can collect different types of resources we can't find on other planets, or discover a place full of threats, or stumble upon a side mission. And when we are done on the planet, we can either fast travel or walk back to our ship. Also, the new lighting model of Bethesda will be able to light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere. So we will be able to actually feel like we spend time on a planet because of the day and night cycle. And also the different lighting can increase the immersion of being on a different planet, especially on barren planets. Speaking of the barren planets, there will be both worlds full of living species, cities, towns or facilities, and ones that are barren but full of useful resources. The settled systems will offer us different kinds of adventures and stories. There will be new people to meet and cities with different aesthetics that intrigue us. One city looks more like a place with rules and morals, but in another city we might find ourselves at the center of crime and neon lights. But wherever we go, one thing won't change, and that's the need for exploration, because there will be unique things to discover on all the planets. And by unique, I'm not exaggerating. The system of Starfield builds a planet as the player approaches it. It gathers the terrain and adds interesting locations, creatures and resources, which means if you and I go to the same planet, we will have our own stories to tell each other, and that makes me so excited. Exploring is not the only thing we can do on planets. We can also build outposts, and I know I'll spend most of my time building outposts. They can be built almost anywhere on any planet. We will be able to assign our crew to work at our outposts to gain extra resources and bonuses. So you won't just be building things for fun, they will also have a purpose. We can also have a crafting and research station to modify our weapons or utilize resources we have. It looks like there will be lots of options to customize both interior and exterior, so we can have both visually pleasing and useful outposts. Outposts are not the only thing we can customize in Starfield. We can also customize our ships, and that makes me even more excited than outposts. We can buy new ones, customize and upgrade them, and assign crew and companions to work on our ship. There will be spaceports where we can do all these things. We can choose something really fast for bounty hunting, or add extra paths such as a freighter to do cargo missions or smuggling. I think these examples show that when we are wandering between planets, we can have spontaneous activities or small gigs. And when we consider how many changes we can make to our ship, it's safe to assume there will be more examples like these. You can literally change anything on your ship. There is something called ship builder mode, and lets us put together our dream spaceship. You can change the systems, look or layout, and these changes not only affect our ship's stats, but also what we can do inside of it. The freedom they give us in ship customization makes me so excited, and it looks like you can actually build something really original and interesting too. You can make them look like animals or mechs. It's totally up to your imagination. Also, fortunately, we won't be alone in our dream ship. Run a massive spaceship alone would be sad, I guess. Therefore, we can have our companions with us. But don't get me wrong, they're not with us just because we would be sad and depressed alone. They come with their own useful skills. When we assign our crew to either the outpost or the ship, we should consider their skills because it affects efficiency. Also, we can have a companion with us through quest lines or our explorations. And yes, some of these crew members' friendships can turn into a romantic relationship. In overall, the ship customizations and having crew members is a great way to increase the immersion of being a captain of a spaceship. And of course, there will be space flights too. We don't just have our ship to carry us from planet to planet. We will stumble upon hostile ships during our journey and fight them. But this ship combat sequences won't just be about firing lasers. challenges. We will need to focus on piloting skills and power allocation system. This power allocation system helps us to change the focus of our ship. While boosting power to the engines makes the ship faster, boosting power to the shields and weapons will give a huge advantage during fights. After the fights, we will be able to loot what remains of the enemy ship, but also we can dock and board their ship. And that's what I will do most of the time. The idea of being a space pirate and docking other ships is enough to make me hyped for Starfield. We can try to aim for better ships than our ship because once we take control of a ship, it's ours. We can add them to our fleet and retrieve them in a spaceport. Moreover, apparently fighting is not the only thing we can do in space. There will be some friendly ships or stations we can stop by. We can explore their station, get side quests, and meet new NPCs. Besides this, we can also encounter some other ships and trade information and resources or commit piracy. So it looks like spending time in space will be just as fun as spending time on planets. Creating a character and doing all these things sound like a dream for me. Starfield offers something unique, a space adventure with lots of possibilities with your own character. In character creation, we first pick a preset and then start to build on it. According to Bethesda, this is their most comprehensive character creation ever. With a simple menu and lots of variety, it looks like easy to edit the character. But we don't only edit our character's appearance, we also choose a background and 3 basic skills to start with. I think it makes our character deeper. It gives a backstory which can be helpful for the player to feel closer to the character. Different backgrounds can be useful in different situations. You can find something common with an NPC and it can lead to a whole other conversation or mission. Besides the background, we can also choose traits, but they will be optional. Of course, they bring both advantages and disadvantages. With one of the traits, you need to pay for your parents to support them, but in return, you'll have fun conversations. Or one of them will buff your damage while your health is low, but also sometimes mercenaries will come and try to kill you. Of course, there are more skills to acquire throughout the journey. As usual, we level up and we get a skill point. We can use these points to unlock or rank up the skills, but we can't rank them up whenever we want. We need to complete challenges to unlock the ranks. For example, kill 10 creatures with a machine gun or pick 5 locks, etc. So it also requires you to practice the same thing, which fits with the logic of ranking up a skill. These challenges will get harder for further ranks. There are 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill. I don't know if it's gonna be enough for a game. It seems we might easily play for more than 50-60 hours, but that's something we will see when it's released. At the event, we also saw some cool skills such as controlling aliens' minds and boost pack. They stress that the game will give us enough freedom to unlock skills that suit our playstyle. Either go stealth or talk your way out of situations or just go crazy and kill everyone. I normally don't prefer to kill in Bethesda games. I mostly try to use speed skills, but combat is always a fun part of the games. With weapon customization, the game will try to give us enough variety to shape it to our playstyle. Different types of barrels, scopes, ammunition and so on. We can change them to find the most efficient way for ourselves. The developers confidently say Starfield has more modes and weapons than any other games they've developed before. We can use melee, ballistic, energy and mag weapons which deal really high damage. Since every planet has different gravity, we might need to change the weapon type according to the planet or the area we are in. Because if you're using a ballistic weapon in a zero gravity environment, then it will push you back. But on the other hand, if you're using an energy weapon, it will be more stable. There was one thing in the end that Bethesda only teased and didn't say anything specific. We saw that our character uses a sort of force to make people float in the air. I guess the character made gravity zero for other objects and the enemies. I don't know if it's gonna actually be kind of a weapon class or just a few special powers, but it's exciting. Everything we saw made me so hyped for Starfield, but also made me think, is it possible to make a game like this? I don't know if they will omit any features they showed us because that's literally insane. Starfield has a lot to offer and sounds almost fake. If a less well-known company would come up with and show these things, I would definitely say it's fake, but it's Bethesda. The way that they design creatures, the spaceships and the costumes are amazing. The developers say they wanted the creatures to look like native wildlife rather than alien monsters. And for the costumes and technology surrounding us, they picked a concept they call NASA Punk, where the tech is advanced but still looks grounded and relatable. I think it makes the game even more immersive. I felt like this was a sci-fi game I've always wanted to play. And it's also unbelievable that the game will be available on Xbox Game Pass on day one. However, we shouldn't forget something. This game will definitely have lots of bugs and issues. There are multiple reasons for that. First of all, it's a Bethesda game. Secondly, it's a huge game and it's not unfair to assume there will be lots of bugs, especially after seeing even the remastered games have issues. Maybe we are all hyped for Starfield, but remember, no pre-order.